let's move on to Chelsea, man. Chelsea, guys, what did we tell you, man? I told you guys these are not million. These are not. This is not how a smart club moves, guys. I'm sorry, man.
Do you know how many points they've bought with this 600 million pounds? 2 points.
They bought 2 points. Like, you guys sat here trying to convince me that this is how they function. No, that was how Roman Abramovich functioned. That's a different way.
The only difference is this guy doesn't have the balls to sack the manager.
Wait.
He doesn't.
Before we continue, did you guys see Obi Mikel's interview?
Best interview ever.
That was amazing.
Best interview.
It was so good.
You guys need to go check out the interview because he talks about how the club and the players knew when the manager is getting sacked. They just knew.
2 chances.
And then he was also speaking about how back then the team was like full of men, full of hungry players who wanted to win.
That explanation and that video of Aspilicueta trying to motivate these players, and then you can just see them with their snoods, like they're just
quiet,
they're just calm, they don't care. Modric is just there,
Modric knows he's helped his country with that deal. So what's up? Do you know they've planned a Shakhtar Chelsea friendly in the summer? Like that's what they're doing.
The thing is, you can look at those Chelsea players. They came there for money, right? No one is minutely proud to play for Chelsea, especially the new signings.
Yep.
I haven't seen a new signing apart from but actually plays well.
Who? But Yashid is a centre back.
But like you see him trying to fight for the club.
He's done okay.
Every single player, including Mount, who's an academy player, apparently he wants to leave. He wants his salary tripled or something.
Doubled. Alafu ni sisi anataka
for cardio. For his cardio.
150 marks. Chukua muende.
Well, let me tell you, man, Mount is a good signing.
For us.
I think he's a good player.
Even for us.
Even
for us to replace Xhaka. That would be a good signing. That's a good progression, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly, Mount is a very good player,
but
guys.
I feel like
Chelsea fans were shitting on him, but
they shit on him every game, bro.
They shit on most of their players, right? But Mount is an exceptionally good player. He's just in a horrible system. And why I say this is because, bro, I didn't even know Jorginho had that through ball in him. He gave Saka how many through balls, man, against Aston Villa?
Nataka kusema Chelsea ni talent wana feature. Fuck that.
But they don't play to the strengths.
Players are like every single player at Chelsea, their levels is just dropping.
Yes.
No one is progressing. Like that's the thing. It's a coaching problem. Obviously, we used to talk about this when Ole was a manager at United.
Like, I can't blame Potter too much though, so down, man.
No, but see, the thing is, he's out of depth. Yeah, Mezoya could coach players who are earning less money.
It's not being out of depth. It's about coming in mid-season, right? You see, like, I think guys have been spoiled. In the Premier League, guys have been spoiled. Liverpool fans, first of all, for Klopp to come in mid-season and finish top 4, and that was the same season you guys.
He didn't finish top 4.
He didn't finish top 4.
You guys got Europa League. He also lost the Europa League final.
No, he got to the Europa League final, right?
He lost it.
And they finished what?
Second year.
The
that
Europa
first
League
year we finished like 6th, 7th.
You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't expect someone to just come and change it, no matter how good the coach is. Graham Potter is not. I get that, but those aren't his signings. That's fucking Todd Boehly. You can't go and credit Todd Boehly for the signings. No, you can't compare by saying Todd Boehly, fucking brilliant, 8 year and a half contracts or whatever, amazing, such an amazing businessman. And then when he's failing with those signings, you blame Potter. There's no consistency.
Part of it is not.
I know he's signing off Chiari on some of them.
I'm saying just listen. The part of it is the Potter has a 5-year contract. Yeah, all the signings that were done in January had Potter in mind. They haven't yet clicked. They haven't yet settled in. They're long-term signings. And this season, part of the reason why Chelsea won't pull that plug this season is because Potter requires time to build a team. This team is also pretty young. All the guys
Premier League experience.
All the guys they've bought are really young. They've not played in the Prem.
Exactly.
They've been out there, and this is a new manager who's not really blended with that crop of players. Even the old team, he didn't know them.
And he didn't want them.
By the time he came in to replace Tuchel, the old team already had new signings from August. The summer signings, loads of them.
Kina Sterling.
Wase bado hajacheza, wacheza kina Aubameyang huko.
Even Aubameyang is being dropped from the Champions League squad.
He has bro, he has a squad of like 40 something players, actual first team players to choose from. I don't think there's a manager you can give 40 something players and expect anything, because even for now, even just how to balance your team, just this team will play this game, then next week we have another competition, then next week we have another competition.
It's mad.
If
The type of players you have.
If they finished out of top 6, you can't blame the owner because he gave you the players.
No, you can't. You know why? You know why? You know
why?
why?
You can't blame anyone.
You can't blame the owner for giving you players.
Zoom. Part of it, we can't also blame. I'm saying this is part of it. We can't blame anyone because this is a transition year.
I get it.
It's part of, like, teams. The thing is, and this is in your part, I think as fans tunakuwa very entitled. You don't deserve success every single year. Whether you're Chelsea, whether you're Liverpool, whether you're United, whether you're whatever, you don't deserve success every single year. And if always, whenever you fail, the solution is manager. The one thing, Zoom, kama ukisema we're one of the most toxic fan bases.
You are.
The one thing I've gotten from in most of the other fans, the comments I've been seeing from most of the other fans, from other teams, is they haven't seen a team that no matter what went on with Liverpool, no one called for Klopp's head. But that's because it's figured at that point where you have to, with certain managers, you have to give them time. Fine, Potter doesn't have that allowance in the bank. He hasn't done anything for Chelsea yet. But what he did with Brighton and the same problems you're seeing right now with Chelsea, they're not scoring. If you remember Brighton last year, creating bare chances, not scoring. Right now, Chelsea are facing the same issues. So do you give him time to work on it in the summer so that he can come back next season with a team of 25 people who he can bring in to play every competition? Right now you have Ziyech. If you don't play Ziyech, you have to play Madueke. If you don't play Madueke, you have to play Pulisic. If you don't play Pulisic, you have to play Sterling. One of them has to play. And all of them have to play. Like, it's literally...
I get it. But my issue is, right, they went into January. And that's why, for me, I don't believe, by the way, that Graham Potter is anywhere near being sacked. That's not happening. He's not. That's not happening. But if you wanted to salvage this season, which is what some Chelsea fans are saying that's the case. If you want to salvage this season, then you sign Premier League players. Guys who make immediate impact. You don't sign youngsters with no Premier League experience, barely one season under their belt in other European leagues.
But not more than 30 games. 30 games and 20-something.
And then expect them to make an impact.
Enzo, right?
Enzo and Mudryk, 30 for Enzo, 30 for Mudryk, 20-something for Enzo.
Like, you don't expect that kind of...
Enzo's different, Greg.
Enzo is class. Enzonzi's class, wallahi. Fair enough. He gets finished in 1v1 situations by Karim Adeyemi or whatever. There was a second time.
No. Give me a Jana.
Yeah.
Give me a Juicy. He was flat out on the floor.
No, but listen. but that's the thing. Like, defensively, that's not his shit. But, like, you don't bring in those players, Kina Madueke and Datro Fofana. Those are players that...
They have Gusto who's still at Lyon. They
have
to
Nkunku come back.
Who's still at Leipzig.
Imagine.
These are guys who are all coming to this team. So unimse lazima kae chini angalia na
yeah. And the thing is, like, that's the thing with some of the signings. Of course, you look at it even as a biased fan or as a hater. You look at it and you go like, this guy will be a good player. This guy will be a good player, right? But there's a host of those signings that will need to prove themselves within 2 years in the Premier League, like full seasons, not even counting this season.
Yeah, but
so giving them 8-year contracts is madness.
It's crazy because we're expecting all these players to try and prove themselves. And we also have a manager who also needs to prove himself because he has won nothing. He has never worked with players who are earning that much money. That's a thing.
That comes into play.
You need a Klopp. You need a Pep.
That's not fair because Klopp was just from Dortmund and Mainz, bro. No one in those clubs was earning more than 100,000.
Listen, he won the league, so he's known.
No, but also, like, even when he came to Liverpool, he wasn't dealing with anyone earning over 200,000.
Yeah, he won. He won back to back.
The Suarez is.
Let me explain. He won back to back. He came to Liverpool with a very team who were like so average.
Team.
And then he was allowed to build a team slowly, gradually. It's so different with Potter. Potter was from Brighton. His highest position was 9th. Before that, he was finishing 15th and 17th. And then you're giving him a squad worth 600 million with 3 more players coming in the summer. And like almost 7 players in January.
Good
like,
players as well.
By the way, it's 600 million excluding the players that have already been bought. So.
Imagine. So 600 million before the summer and also before the previous summer, including Kina Havertz and all that.
It's mad.
So the thing is, for me, I don't think we just hopeful.
Havertz is 3 years old. Right?
We're just being hopeful that it might work. I don't think it will work because the pressure and the expectations, and I've seen his interviews. He is so naive. He's too naive in my opinion.
So and that's also like he's being asked horrendous questions, man. Like a reporter is asking him, like we've seen some, we've spoken to some fans outside just before the post-match conference, and they were saying that you need to be sacked. What would you say? What would you have to say to that? I'm like, bro, come on, man. That's not a proper question.
Yeah, it's the level of you see what Saddam has said in terms of naivety. There's a level of respect the media is not showing Potter.
Yeah.
And
I've seen that as well.
This isn't coming from anyone else. It's coming from the media.
Yeah,
they're trying to push that agenda. He's a weak guy. He's not this. He's not really.
He's always smiling.
Yeah, he's not.
He doesn't get angry on the sideline.
He's not confrontational. He's not whatever.
Wasn't that how Ole was treated?
Who? Ole.
Did they say Ole was
no one's ever come and asked Ole.
Aggressive. He was even told you were not angry, and he got pissed off.
But nobody. I don't think anybody ever asked Ole, yo. People are saying you should be sacked.
He should be out.
He's gotten.
What do you think?
No,
I don't think he's ever had to deal with that kind of question.
In the argument, yangu Chelsea, and it's a whole argument in terms of Chelsea have run out of managers to hire, so Chelsea won't go and hire someone else.
Yeah.
Plus,
the only viable person they have now is like Pochettino. That's
plus, I also think the thing about Potter, if even you look at his history, he builds very good teams, football playing teams. So I'm just of the thought that Todd Boehly said, okay, Sawa, this season is done.
It's a wash.
Let's see. Let you just focus on building up the team, and then next season we see where you are at that point.
Yeah, Winston Street was literally the same thing. He said the board has agreed that they need to give this guy time, and there's no change from that.
The way Brighton play football now is because of Graham Potter.
And I feel like the recruitment at Brighton was
also because of Graham Potter.
Yeah, he's the one who set up those scouts. He brought, by the way, he brought them to Chelsea. Yeah? The coaching staff that he has, he brought them to Chelsea.
Okay,
so what's not to say?
All the scouts are here.
That's how they signed Datro Fofana, because they've been scouting him for some time.
Right? At Brighton, right?
So one player.
Nah, but
so he's not going to bring everyone.
This is the difference. Brighton are not going to. Chelsea are not going to do what Brighton are doing. Chelsea are not in the business of making profits on players who are their first team players. That's Brighton. Brighton will buy a player, play him in the starting 11, knowing next season will flip him over for 40, 50 mil,
60,
and then we'll buy someone else for 3 mil. Chelsea want to buy someone for 80 and play him there for 80.
But now we are looking at a manager who's been working well with those.
Now
3 million players.
So he skips that period.
Now he's skipped working with those guys.
No, but he builds them like you.
Bro, he's still building guys. You see, a guy like Mudryk has played 30 professional games.
He's cost 100 million. That makes a difference.
Take away the cost.
That makes a difference.
Take away the cost. Mudryk has cost
expectations.
No, I'm saying
if Mudryk cost 3 million,
take away the cost.
We wouldn't be talking about him right now.
Of course we wouldn't, but that's because listen, at the end of the day, right? He still has that profile, even if he was 3 million.
Yeah.
If he had those performances in the Champions League, he'd be talked about.
Expectations.
If he was talking, if he played those games in the Premier League.
This is what I'm saying. Take away the price tag.
You can never take away the price tag.
That's the thing.
Let me tell you why
actually
you have
curse.
to.
You can never.
Now you see why I'm getting to a point. Like when I look at a footballer, let's say like a Grealish, or let's say, give me an example of someone who a young player. Let's say an Enzo. An Enzo, you spent 105 or 110 mil on an Enzo. Enzo is 21. Enzo will probably offer you 15 years of service if you manage to keep him throughout his career. Laid out in terms of years, you're talking 7-6 million a year.
That's hypothetical. It never happens.
No, that's generally in terms of age profile when you go to young players. Yeah. You have to look at the longevity of the player. You have to look
players are getting sold at 28 nowadays. No one cares.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. If you keep them, bro, if
he's making the assumption you keep. Just humor him. But just
guys keep. Okay, this is the thing. Top teams keep their players from when they're young till when they're old. Yeah. That's why Kimmich is still at Bayern. That's why the Alphonso Davises won't leave the club. They'll stay there until they retire.
Mbappe is still there, bro.
Mbappe is still at PSG, whichever way he was from Monaco. But
Milner
still like he doesn't look like he's gonna leave.
He doesn't look like he's leaving.
Team is gonna pay 100 million.
Okay,
United.
Those questions. Listen, those questions that Potter is getting right now, all this pressure he's getting right now, that affects his performance. That affects him mentally. If he was 10th or 12th Brighton, he would be calm. He would get asked stupid questions. He would think. He would experiment things that are being questioned. Now all the spotlight is on him. He has been given like more than 600 million. That changes things. You cannot say that does not change anything.
He's been given 300 million. He came in after December.
He
came in before.
Yeah. No one cares what he was given.
Why? It matters because you're using that as a point.
No, he was given.
You're using that as a point.
Let me say something.
Till he gave a point, no one cares.
They spent 600 on this team. Whether he came here a month before or 2 months after, it doesn't matter. It's 600 million of investment for him to make it work.
Saddam, this isn't Pep Guardiola who's walked in and said, I want this guy. He's how much? I don't give a fuck. I want this guy. He's come in and he's been told, yo, we can get this guy for this much. He's probably saying like, yo, that's a lot. But he probably has nothing to say with the finances. He's not signing them. He's being given the players.
That changes things.
You guys don't think
it can't be the same? He will not
his
perform
team was part of the scouting?
Way.
No,
he came in later.
Not with a guy like Enzo. With Enzo, you can.
Yeah.
With Enzo,
even Mudryk.
With Enzo, you can clearly see like Enzo. The whole story is Boehly was at the World Cup final, saw him play, and then immediately after the game, he was telling his guys like, I need that guy at my team.
Mudryk was
just Arsenal was interest.
Yeah,
but if you figure a guy like, let's say, Gusto,
Fofana, Madueke, those guys.
Madueke probably looks like a Potter guy more than like Chelsea, because that's a PSV signings from where. That's true. That's Fofana guy. So that's when you can see like the certain imprints. You see, Saddam.
He's giving a lot of Moyes vibes. Like he would work well with really average players. When the media is on you, when there's investment on you, the board asking you questions, you're gonna spend money on you. People crumble, and I think that's what.
But this is
exactly what's happening.
Potter's really different. Managers, I've seen managers crumble. Potter's argument is nowhere close. Potter has never lost his head in public. Potter's never called out his team. He's never called out his team in public. But he's never called out players.
He's looking very stressed.
Yeah, he's looking stressed,
bro. Of course he looks stressed,
bro. He's looking so affected.
That's the same shit with Klopp looking mad depressed for like a month, 2 months. You're like,
Klopp. The difference is, even in these bad periods, you can't see it in his face.
That was
what clearly visible.
He doesn't have eye bags.
The last 2 months.
Go look at Potter. Potter looks
Klopp
like
might
he hasn't
not do that.
slept
Klopp
in
might
3
not
days,
do that.
man. That's what we're talking about.
Klopp might not show it facially.
As a
but
big
he'll
team
show
manager,
it as a personality.
Yeah, but as
he'll
a
go
big
and
team
abuse
manager,
their biggest journalist.
But as a big team manager, you're supposed to have a demeanor about you.
That's still an expression. It's an expression of frustration.
Yeah.
That still counts because it's pent up. A guy asks him a question. He's fucking just lost to Wolves 3-0, and then he goes. That's probably the guy. By the way, that journalist who he
told him
I'm
not answering your question.
He told him he's not answering his question, and that journalist is apparently Liverpool's. From Liverpool's journalism corner, he was their strongest supporter of Klopp. You know, like. He went and did that to that guy.
Yeah.
Like that's still expression.
Now what he did,
just because it's verbal doesn't mean it's different.
Now what that homie did was kind of weird though.
What did he do?
See, that homie went and wrote a whole article in terms of why that Pep Light guy, where that guy has more power at Liverpool right now because Klopp cares about him too much. Pep Linders. Learn so intensity. That stupid nigga, man.
There's what is he? Backroom staff or
he's assistant manager.
The
guy who wrote the book. So he wrote an article in regards to that. So what Klopp was generally saying was like, there's no sentimental value between me and my staff. It's who's performing. So that was the whole PS thing. Okay. That was the whole answer.
Fair enough. Anyway,
but this is my whole argument with Potter. I think as football fans we need to take a step back, stop judging a manager because of personality, because of whatever, because he was coaching Brighton and I didn't hear anyone for a whole year, 2 years talking about Potter is too weak, Potter is not saying this, he's not saying this.
Because now he's in the limelight.
Yeah, now he's in the limelight a lot.
But at the end of the day, what matters isn't his personality or what he does on the technical area in terms of body language. It's what his team does. Yeah. That's his best representation.
And then it's awful so far.
It's awful so far. I agree. Nobody's disagreeing.
And we've never seen anything exceptional about Brighton.
Interesting. What?
Huh? Exceptional. I'm talking about exceptional.
Nah,
finishing 9th and 14th.
They beat United 4-0 last season.
Bro, he was banging last season with Welbeck. You know,
and Mope.
And Mope.
Those are
Welbeck and Mope, and then you're telling this.
And even the style
the
of
style
football.
of football is the most important
And the fluidity of
thing. They
formations.
played better football than you guys.
They
The
did.
style of football they were playing with guys.
I would have taken Potter.
Yeah,
If
as
Ten Hag didn't exist,
Bro, I'll
That's
take
a
Potter.
cute-
I would have taken Potter.
Anyway, I just want to make a prediction around Chelsea. Like,
You give
yeah, they're
Potter preseason and
Bro, and
a
I'm
market.
pretty sure Zoom. Part of the
wait, hold
argument.
on. I know they're transition FC
Nah,
right now,
Potter
but I
isn't
don't
even
see them
transition.
challenging.
Part of my argument is one thing Potter doesn't have, and Tuchel also didn't have it, is a striker. And if they do get him an Osimhen,
He's coming back. Lukaku,
if they
bro.
get him an Osimhen, no, fuck that Lukaku guy. Lukaku ndo anaenda kuwapea pesa.
You said Nkunku and who are coming back?
Nkunku-
Even
Nkunku-
Lukaku, bro,
Lukaku
one
zi.
time.
Look, wako na hiyo option.
Yeah,
okay?
wako na hiyo
Who is
option.
on a 9?
He's not a 9. He's
Nkunku
not
is
a
a
10.
wide forward.
They're all midfielders.
They're all
wide
midfielders.
forward.
They're all what? Midfielders. I
Si
saw
ndio
that
hiyo,
on
si ndio
Twitter.
maana they want
That
the
killed me,
perfect they want the number 9, which I figured would
With
be
Phil.
Vlahovic.
Midfielders.
It'll either be Vlahovic or Osimhen.
Mid.
And-
Maybe Osimhen.
If it's
Vlahovic
Osimhen,
is mid.
fine, it's Osimhen's dream club.
Chelsea?
Yeah, I saw an interview.
Yeah.
As a kid, that's his
So why
dream
was he
club.
holding up Igalo's United shirt, man?
Nigeria.
Si Nigeria?
Yeah, she has to come.
Stadium Niger.
He has to come.
But-
You guys signed another Nigerian.
But if you want,
Yeah, what's another Nigerian?
That's the only Nigerian you guys have.
if you are
Those guys had Nigerians.
if
Don't know
you're-
be
if you're
Mikel.
Osimhen, if you're Osimhen, would you go to Man United or you go to Chelsea?
Man
Chelsea.
United.
Come on.
Come on, bro.
He's that guy's Nigerian. He's going for the money. Are you guys
No, no,
crazy?
no, no.
It's
Only
not
when
even
you
that,
don't
bro.
have
You have to
money.
look at you have to
Come
look
on.
at statistics, bro. You guys have you've had 3 African players in your history.
So
Yeah.
and
Rashford is
Jemba
African.
Njemba.
If
Jemba Jemba played for United as well.
Rashford is
Yeah.
from Mtwapa,
Watch
bro.
Jemba Njemba was with you guys.
Rashford
yeah?
ametoka
Yeah.
Mtwapa, wewe nakwambia nini wewe?
Shut the hell up, bro.
Rashidi.
Anatoka Bondeni, bro.
Fred ametoka Malindi. Look at it this way, right?
Fred ni msa wa Burundi kama ni
Mambrui, bro. Mambrui, bro.
If I'm Osimhen and I'm looking at the way my Arsenal, Man United are playing, the support, the atmosphere, playing Champions League, or going to
Bro, who?
Conference
Utaona, wait. This is what will happen. So, he's going to sign for Chelsea, right? These guys are going to get pissed. Chelsea fans are going to come at them for, pool, Chelsea pool. And then these guys will be like, oh, but he went for the money. And then I'm going to be here, but I told you he's Nigerian.
And then
what the hell are we doing?
the curse of the number 9 is gonna hit him.
Yes.
007 Osimhen.
See, unaona
You had it here
fine,
first.
fine. This is why for me, just being a football fan, I'll want him at Chelsea because I'm pretty sure he's the guy who's going to break that curse.
Yeah,
because
he's their next Drogba.
he's the next Drogba.
Wallah, he is. You know, he's the
if they
fastest.
get that guy.
You saw those stats. I don't know. I came across them today. Fastest to get to, I think, what? Over 100 goals. Something like that.
Hey, decide what you're saying, bro.
No,
we're on a
yes,
podcast.
most goals
Use your
at
words,
the
bro.
100. Let me finish. Most goals after only Ronaldo and Messi in the first 100 games of his career. Most goals. That's mad. That's a mad stat.
Osimhen's a crazy guy.
That's not
What
Lukaku
you
numbers.
What you saying though? You're the Italian league scout.
No, mbona nataka hizo
Nah,
vitu.
this guy is.
What you saying?
I thought you told
in
me
Serie
guy.
A, we've always seen one striker shine every season. The season here,
Osimhen, last season he wasn't shining.
Lukaku.
No,
was
he was
Lukaku?
not.
He was injured for 3
2
months.
seasons. Like, it was Lukaku.
he was not shining. Bottom line.
La season alikuwa
This season
sawa.
He was decent. Yeah,
Last
he
season
had
was-
16
Last
goals.
season
Yeah,
was
that's not
Tammy.
bad.
Last season was Tammy Abraham.
Nah, mzee alikuwa yeye alifunga 16.
Yeah, Victor Osimhen scored 16
And Tammy-
goals.
No, what I'm saying is,
I don't know
we've
how many
seen
times he scored.
Osimhen, we've seen Vlahovic, we've seen Piontek, we've seen so many
I don't know who
strikers.
Piontek is.
Yeah,
but-
exactly. He was a top scorer at one point.
Immobile.
We
That's
had
Piatek.
Shiro Immobile.
Yeah.
Oh, Piatek.
Ah,
Yeah.
That's how you say it. You don't say the Piatek.
Sawa.
Bottom line is,
Ati Piontek.
That's such an old name. You know, Piontek. Hey, Piontek. Shut the fuck up. There's no Piontek there. There's no end there. There's no
yeah, that's how you pronounce it.
Yaani anafanya hivi.
Piontek. Cheza Kenya 1. Piontek. Kwenda zako.
Piga 45.
See, but mimi ningetaka sana Osimhen akam, and this is what I'm saying as a football fan generally for me. If they can get Osimhen, if City can stay the way they are, if we're coming back the way we are,
You have Nunes.
we have Nunes, we have Gakpo, we have Diaz, we have Jota. Si mbele tuko sawa. Mbele tuko sawa. So si tukae
Sawa,
yenyewe.
Shell.
Alafu ase.
Total. Alafu nyewe wase mpate mtu.
Ase upate nani?
Kwenda zako. What do you mean? You know, if we win the league this season, wait, you know, if we win the league this season, we
You
make
guys are
history.
lucky in
Can we-
number
can we
9,
hear?
bro.
Can we hear?
Put it
Can we
on the
hear?
microphone. Put it on the microphone.
Krzysztof Piątek.
Fuck.
On your happy.
Shut up! Who's that guy?
Who's that? Who's that guy?
That's the Italian Serie A
Why-
commentator.
Why is your Siri a man, bro? Why is your Siri a
Piontek,
man?
bro. You can't
Saddam
Yeah,
say
why is your
Hussein.
Syria, man?
That's highly sus.
Why is your Syria, man?
Why is your Siri a man, bro?
Syria what?
Why is your Siri
A
a
man.
man? Not
No,
Syria A.
It's not Syria. It's like it's
How
like a
can it
website.
was secret?
Please subscribe.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave your comments in the section below, and we'll check you guys next week.
Piontek.
Piontek.